Hello everyone, my name is Katie. I am the Introverted Reader. Welcome to another video. Welcome to the video that I promised you. Today's video is the Nightmare Before Christmas book tag, and if you don't know, Nightmare Before Christmas is literally one of my favorite movies of all time. I love it so much. I literally have a shrine to Jack Skellington up there. I have a comic book version of the movie, this story. I have a cloth-bound special edition storybook up there, which I've shown you guys before, but yeah, I love it. I love it so much, and I've been meaning to do this tag for a minute, but I never actually got round to it. But I have the questions written in my shiny notebook right here. So let's just get started. Oh, and I did some fancy dancy Halloween makeup today. I don't know how it's looking on camera, to be honest. I mean, it looks okay in real life, but whatever. Happy Halloween! Anyway, this tag was created by the Butterfly Reader. I don't know if said Butterfly Reader is still active, but I wanted to give them a shout out anyway. So the first prompt is for Jack, Pumpkin King, Bone Daddy, just king of my heart, Jack Skellington. And his prompt is a book with a character who longs for more. So I thought a little bit about this, and I went with Yadriel from Cemetery Boys, one of my favorite books of last year, if not my favorite. I went for Yadriel because if you've read this, you'll know that Yadriel is a trans boy from a very traditional Mexican Latino family, and a lot of times they misgender him. They say his dead name a whole lot, and it really puts him down, and he wants to prove himself to his family. He wants more out of, you know, his own life, and he wants to like rid himself of the box that they keep trying to put him in. Like, he wants to prove himself. He wants more out of what he's got, and I love and adore that about him. And just this whole story is just so beautiful, and like you see him go through that journey all the way through this, and I feel like this book is fitting for this tag anyway, because it's literally set during Day of the Dead. So we love this book. If you haven't read this book yet, read it. Like, read it right now. Anyway, so that is my prompt for Jack. Sally, a book with a character who loves someone so much and actually gets them in the end. I have Sally right there. That's the only Sally that I have. Like, see if I end up getting the Sally that matches this one. Don't judge me. Anyway, so for this one, I went really conventional, and I went with Will Herondale from The Infernal Devices, one of my favorite characters from my favorite trilogy of all time. And if you've read this, you know Will loves Tessa very much. There is so much angst and just so much heart-wrenching tension between them all the way through this trilogy. But like, if you know what happens in the end, you know. If you haven't read this trilogy yet, you have to. If you enjoy angst, if you enjoy tension, if you enjoy wanting to bang your head against the wall because why can't they just work it out, then read this trilogy. Just read this trilogy. Like, if anything, read it for Will and Jem, because Will and Jem are just, they're everything. I really want to reread this series too at some point, but I don't know if that'll happen anytime soon. Wait and see. Anyway, next one is for Zero. I don't have a Funko of Zero. I shouldn't I? A book with a loyal sidekick. And again, I was looking through, you know, my books on my shelf, and I have a lot of amazing books on my shelf with amazing characters, main characters, side characters, and everything. But there was one that just stood out among the rest, and that is Leo Valdez from the Heroes of Olympus series by Rick Riordan. Leo is such a good boy. He is a good boy. Like, he is just, he's wonderful. Like, he is that loyal friend that you want in your team. Like, you want this kid in your team. Like, he's so funny and just so sweet and kind. And even though he might not be this, I mean, he is smart. Like, he can build something out of nothing. Like, he built this dragon, for goodness sake. But, like, people always downgrade him, and he comes out with, the smartest and most whimsical, wacky ideas. And you're just like, that shouldn't work, but it does. Like, it's just, I love Leo Valdez so much. Leo Valdez, stan account in this household. Another option, actually, for that prompt that I was going to say was Jesper from Six of Crows. You can see Six of Crows back there. Jesper's a great sidekick. He's like Kaz's second in command. So if I hadn't already picked out Leo, I would have went with Jesper. Next one is Oogie Boogie, who I do not have a pop of. Like, watch me literally get the entire cast of Nightmare Before Christmas before this is over. Like, watch. Oogie Boogie, a book with one hell of a wicked villain. Now, again, I own a lot of books, clearly. A lot of fantasy books, a lot of books that have so-called villains in them, but it's hard to find a good one, isn't it? I did literally an entire video about it. But I went with, what is her name? What is this character's name? But anyway, the Wicked Queen from the Lunar Chronicles. She is the queen that lives on the moon. She is horrible and vindictive and just evil and just downright unhinged. We don't like her. But yeah, I can't remember her name right now. If any of you remember her name, let me know in the comments, because I'm dumb, I can't remember. But all I know, it's the Wicked Lunar Queen from the Lunar Chronicles series. Again, this is another series that I really, really want to reread soon. I keep thinking that, like, I'm gonna see her name somewhere in here, but I didn't. So I can't remember her name. But let me know what her name is in the comments so I can feel more stupid. But yeah, she is horrible. She's a horrible, horrible human being. If you read this series, then you know. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go with her for that one. Next one is Halloweentown, which is a book that's creepy or has a scary theme. And for that one, I went with Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. This is a series set in a boarding school up in the mountains, and it can get really creepy up there. There was a murder that happened up there, so a lot of bad stuff has happened. It's surrounded by woodland and obviously like mountains, and obviously in the daytime they're beautiful to look at, but at nighttime it can get real creepy. And obviously it's about our girl trying to like solve an age-old murder where the killer was never properly caught. So yeah, that's pretty creepy. I also probably would have went with The Good Girl's Guide to Murder for this one, because obviously it's sort of around the same thing, but it's contemporary as well, but it's set in like a small English town where a lot of murders have happened. But I went with this one because I feel like I don't talk about this trilogy enough, because I really love this trilogy. Anyway, the next one is Christmas Town, a book that left you feeling warm and fuzzy on the inside. And for that one, I went with Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the second book in the From Blood and Ash series, and there's just so many stunning moments in here. I enjoyed reading this book so much. I gave it 5 stars. It was beautiful. I mean, is it the best book in the entire world? No, but like, did I just have such a wonderful time reading this? And did I get all warm and fuzzy on the inside and just want to burst in a cloud of pink hearts? Yes, I did. And that's what books are supposed to do. Like, they're supposed to make you feel good inside, even if you know that the book is not the greatest. Like, if it makes you feel good on the inside and you enjoy your time reading it, then who frickin' cares? Am I right? So, yes, this is my pick for the Christmas Town one. And I love this book so much. Like, I need book 4, like, right now. And the very last question is for, what's this? What's this? A book that took you by surprise. Now, I have a lot of books that I have read over my years. I've said that a lot, but it's true. That took me by surprise. Like, I remember reading Shatter Me. It took me completely by surprise. I genuinely didn't think that I would like it. I remember reading Frostblood by, is it Ashley Blake? That's probably not the author's name, but the Frostblood series. I remember reading that and thinking, oh, this is going to be super cheesy. I'm not going to like it at all. But I ended up loving that trilogy as well. But this one that I'm going to talk about is one that I read just this year and I gave 5 stars, and it's The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni. Guys, I randomly downloaded this book onto my Kindle whenever I went away on my trip with my family a couple months ago, and I didn't know what else to read, and I didn't want to pick up a physical book, so I went through the Kindle store, I found this, I downloaded it. I had it read within like 3-4 days because this book hooked me so hard. I didn't even fully know what it was about, and it's just, this is wonderful. This is so good. So it's about this girl who was sent to prison with her father when she was 10 years old, but then her father died whilst in the prison, so she's all alone, and he taught her all his knowledge about being a healer. So she is the prison healer. So basically, if a prisoner gets beat up, they get sent to her. If they get new prisoners, they're brought in, she checks them for injuries, gives them their brand, and away they go. And while she's doing that, her family are sending her messages from the outside, being like, hang in there, we're coming to get you, like, just hang tight. And then this rebel queen who's been stirring up a lot of trouble on the outside comes to the prison, and she's dying. And she gets a note there's like a note in like the queen's sleeve, like that's how her family gets her the messages. And the message attached to this queen says, don't let her die, we're coming. And that's where the story goes. And guys, if you haven't read this, flippin' well read it. Like, I seriously think I might make a video at some point about books that you need to bloody well read because they're amazing. This is gonna be one of them. So yeah, read this book. It's amazing. And I have the second one over there that I desperately need to get to, like, ASAP. But like, yeah, this definitely took me by surprise because, one, I didn't fully know what it was about, and I was really worried that it was going to be super cheesy, like I said, but it surprised me and I gave it 5 stars. So anyway, that is the Nightmare Before Christmas book tag. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's a bit of an old tag, but you know, I like doing these like older tags. They're fun. So I don't normally tag anyone in this, but if you love Nightmare Before Christmas, if some of these prompts are speaking to you, then by all means, you're tagged. And if you can come up with any answers to these prompts, then leave them down in the comments. Let me know. So I guess I'll just ask you guys, right? Hold on. Oh, what book took you by surprise? Answer me that. What book have you read in the past, like whether you read it years ago or whether you just recently just finished it? What book have you read lately that took you by surprise? Let me know in the comments, or just leave a comment in general if you want. Twitter, Instagram, down below as always. I'll leave the questions to this tag down below in the description as well, in case you want to do this tag yourselves. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the bell. And yeah, I hope you're having a good day. It's really, really gloomy today in Belfast, and it's kind of depressing me, but whatever. Hope you're having a good day. I love you. Bye.